You need to change your mind. Some portion is Chinese is ahead. Okay, not all of those. Part of the IT industry they are ahead. So they're going to share each other. But American government talking about some steering technology in the past several decades. But the past is past. You need to thinking about in the future what you're going to do. Trump is
Right.
sticking to the past happening, but need to consider for the future. Otherwise, nothing happens. And this one, this technology and the poor inequalities, I think we need to overlap in some area. So otherwise, we can solve this issue. If time goes by, is AI is advancing and IT in revolution is growing and unemployment rate is increasing. So how to avoid those issues? This is not the solution by trade war. Also, he's decided to tariff for EU, right? This is crazy.
Yeah.
What does he thinking about? What is he thinking about it? No benefit for America. They can get some money for tax money, but losing a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, just he's putting that cost directly on the taxpayer.
But my I think it's weird the American people supporting, right?
Right. Well, the scary thing, of course, is that were exactly the same policies that were being implemented in the 1930s.
Oh yeah,
This
yeah,
kind of protectionism
yeah, yeah.
and slapping tariffs. And these things were exactly the same things that were happening in the 1930s that led up to World War II.
Right. So and actually the poll shows he got only 35% of the people from 45
Right.
down to 35, and also economy is a little bit getting worse,
Yeah.
but we are not sure what's going on. And
Right.
so
Yeah.
this means okay, we're going back to the video, the discussion. Just like you said, this video prepared 2 years ago. This means true. This world opinion is moving toward Larry's, closer to Larry's opinion instead Lay's business people's opinion. This is true. But my opinion is actually you can observe American past years and nothing happened.
Mm.
And also, if you consider to the rest of the world, what's going on for poor people, well, China is the exception, but poor people, nothing happened. But and past several weeks I discussed about Japan. Japan is we don't so heavy income inequality. So we this is out of scope for kind of discussion. Japan case is
Right.
IT revolution will impact big impact for Japanese people, but not income inequality. Income inequality is mainly for the United States.
But what we saw in the United States is that Trump has tried to bring in some high-profile cases, bringing manufacturing jobs back into the United States um, by giving very high subsidies to companies like Foxconn, for example. Um, but these are not stable,
Yeah, I agree with you.
significant
I agree
numbers
with you.
of
That's
manufacturing
right.
jobs. They are not going to come back to the United
Yeah,
States.
manufacturing coming back manufacturing to the states is ridiculous,
Yeah,
and they had better encourage the manufacturing business in Mexico or Canada. It's more cheaper,
yeah, yeah.
and they need to consider. But this is kind of attitude. The white blue workers. They try to go and consider. No, it's impossible. They need to thinking about another way, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is the sort of things. And okay, this 2 years ago. So now is our discussion is right direction instead of the past 2 years. Their experience, right?
Yeah, the situation is getting more and more serious. I think what we are seeing, we're in a political era where basically anything goes. It's really, if you would have not been stuck on a deserted island, not having seen the news for 5 years, and you would switch on the television all of a sudden and listen to the news, you would be really surprised, because I think we went through a very, very, very big change. The world changed dramatically in the past 5 years. The whole political debate, what's happening at the moment, is really groundbreaking, and that means also that we will be more susceptible to actually implement dramatic changes, dramatic measures in order to counter these developments.
Because emerging populist or also
Yeah.
the what?
Yeah, because of the power and the mismanagement that we are observing from populist leaders, the costs are enormously high. The risk that we have, that a lot of relationships, a lot of diplomatic ties have been severely damaged in a few years' time because of the reckless political behavior of leaders.
Oh, it
like
means
those.
political leader need much more concern about ordinary people. They need to give them influence to
Yeah.
get support.
We need to understand that basically, like things like America first, the only way that America can be first is they play nicely with the rest of the world, because America needs the rest of the world. That's just a fact, because the world has been globalized. So America first doesn't work by alienating your partners, by picking a fight with whoever is around. That really doesn't work. That just gives good television and good headlines, but it's not in the best interest of your country nor of its citizens.
So American ordinary people gradually recognize what's going on, right?
Yeah, I really hope so. I understand that there are still a lot of people who are severely questioning whether Trump should be impeached, and whether it would be more prudent to look
Exactly
into the
right.
behavior of Joe Biden's son. I mean, that's.
But problem is Democrats,
doesn't even deny
leader. Huh? Yes.
Trump doesn't even deny it, but people say, yeah, well, and then he gives a reason, yeah, but look at him, he's also doing it. Like, I mean, that's not an argument to release yourself from. To acquit yourself from what you're doing. He's basically admitting that he's been doing it. He's basically admitting that he's been soliciting collaboration for his own political gain for foreign leaders. And he's saying, yeah, but look at Joe Biden's kid. And nobody seems to mind. Nobody seems to care. Right? It's unbelievable.
But also Democrats leader, none of those people are strong against Trump. And best capability is Miss Warren, right? Warren, Elizabeth Warren is probably she's going to the last person to remain, but still she is too much leftist.
I think so too. Yeah.
So even if Trump, popularity is getting lower, but she doesn't have a counterpart.
Just like Bernie Sanders. I mean.
No, Bernie Sanders is heart attack. As you know.
Well, Bernie Sanders, he, I mean.
Do you know he got heart attack?
No.
Heart attack.
Really?
Yeah, several days ago, heart attack. He went in hospital.
Oh my! Oh, I didn't know that.
No, he lost the position.
But during the last elections, he was surprised. He got surprisingly a lot of votes during.
Oh really?
Yeah, I thought basically somebody with his political viewpoints, I would never have imagined that he would have gone as far as he did.
No, every media are talking about Elizabeth Warren is still going to win.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but he is too strong leftist. Leftist, so that she is not the counterpart of Trump. That is the American current problem, right?
Her weak point is actually that she's very much fascinated by government institutes.
Oh, yeah.